Hi guys, I just want to take a minute to just talk about a few things uh, regarding DC. Um, the reason why I don't play as much as I used to, because I'm getting quite a few people asking me this now, because I did used to play it like every day pretty much, but for maybe the last 7-8 months I haven't really played very much. I kind of come on, do the events and been doing PvP and stuff like that, like the legend stuff, but not really been doing too much of the normal PvE stuff. And I think the reason why is because um, I mean, even though we're supposed to be getting like roughly about once a year, we get a new tier um, come out, and we go from tier 4 to tier 5 to tier 6, and we're about to go to tier 7, I think, the next DLC, but I haven't really been keeping up with it, so maybe someone can let me know if that's not right and it's not the next DLC. But I think I read somewhere a while back that after this DLC that just came out, it would be the next one would be tier 7, and it's roughly about every 4 DLCs is a new tier. um, but to me, like since Tier 3 came out, and then sort a little bit with Tier 4, but Tier 5 and Tier 6 doesn't really feel like it's just one tier on its own. Each DLC seems to come out and it's always new armor, new plans and new everything come out for it, and it just feels like every DLC that comes out is a new tier in a way, because it just makes the previous ones gear pretty much obsolete unless you've missed out a DLC. Then it's not so bad. If you only get one or two of the DLCs or something from each tier, then it's not so bad. But for people like me who were playing all the time, and people who still do it, who every time a DLC comes out and they sort of replay it to death the first few weeks. I mean, I didn't really do it too much. I did it a few times, but I mostly just kind of made it last the maybe 1 or 2 months, and then it was like a month of maybe doing the old stuff and that. But I'm going back and doing the old feats. But um, I don't know. It just kind of defeats the object a little bit, that you kind of a DLC comes out and you get all of the gear that you need, and then if you wasn't to do it with replays, they say that you should have enough time if you do it like the raids once a week and the daily stuff every day, that you should get all of the gear from vendors and things like that, like just before the next DLC comes out. But then obviously if you miss things out, and then I mean, just say for instance a DLC comes out every 3 months, and you get you pretty much finish it off with maybe 2 or 3 weeks left before the next DLC comes out. Then the next DLC comes out, and you basically do the same thing again, because your armor's like old, and especially with the way that you can do it with the replay badges, some people get the whole set, like vendor gear and things like that, or the drops within raids and alerts before, within a few weeks or a couple of weeks, sometimes even within a week. So then silly requirements come up in the chat that we need blah 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 only combat rating 112 plus and things like that, and then people who are lower can't get in. So things like that just and it's not so much the what people ask for and stuff, because I can understand that a little bit, that they just want to get it done and things like that. So I don't sort of blame them in some ways, but I kind of think that maybe when they do a new tier, like they used to do with tier 1, tier 2 and tier 3, is when the new tier comes out, is have these kind of things like we are here in the Metal Wing, and you've got the Kryptonian sets and that, which are for tier 3. And basically the only way to get these at the time, I mean, they're all marks of triumph now, so you can get them from doing anything now. But at the time, all you could do was do the Fortress Solitude raids and that, and then buy these pieces with the marks that you got from there. Um, and then the same with the original sets, when you first start the game and you get to level 30 and you do the tier 1 stuff. I mean, these in each wing, these ones are like the tier 2 sets. And then you got these ones which are PvP in the tier 1 set in here, the flash set. And it was nice because what you do is you do all the tier 1 alerts and things like that, and then you'd pick one of the free sets that you wanted. Say you want, well, at the time you had to pick the one that your mentor was with, but they dropped all that. But say for instance you picked the one set that you wanted, then you collected that set and you moved on to the tier 2 stuff, which at the time was like the raids and things like that. And then you could get these ones, and the tier 1 stuff was the alerts. So then you'd move on to these, and then you'd get this stuff. So, you know, the way it worked when the game first came out, I think was the best way. And it was like how an MMO is supposed to be, where you grind out the marks, not get everything within a few days and then wait a couple of months or so before the next DLC comes, just to get some more gear that's only slightly higher, and then keep doing that. And then when they say, oh, we're on to tier 7 now, but what's the difference between tier 6 and tier 7? Just because they call it tier 7, I mean, all it does is go up a couple numbers in CR rating. I mean, there's nothing different about it really, the style and everything, but I mean, each DLC has that anyway. The armor comes out and it's slightly higher combat ratings and things like that, and different style and things. But who's to say that every time a DLC comes out they could just say, well, this is now tier 7, then another DLC comes out, this is tier 8, and then tier 9? Because that's what it feels like. Every time a DLC comes out, it's a new tier. So why not just have it so that when you say, like for instance, the next tier is tier 7, why not have tier 7 come out and you have like these kind of glass things, these vendor things in the watchtower somewhere, or within their own little area, like they've been doing with the DLCs lately, and then have it like maybe 3 times each piece of armor, normally something like the more expensive pieces like chest and that are like 60 marks and things like that. Why not times that by like 3 or 4, and times every single piece of armor that's in there by about 3 or 4, and then just have that come out at the very beginning, and then have each DLC that comes out, instead of them adding new vendor gear to buy with marks, why not just have maybe another set that's slightly weaker than the set that's in these vendor glasses come out with each DLC, and then have, like, you know, I don't know, maybe the rating on the stuff at the moment is 100 or 101 or whatever, but with the next tier, why not have like I don't know, combat rating 112, 113, 14, something like that in these armor things that you have to buy with marks, and then each DLC that comes out, maybe have them drop slightly higher rated armor, but not as high as the tier 7 that they drop. So like maybe the next DLC has that as the thing that you buy with marks, and the ones that drop within the alerts and raids and whatever is things like combat rating 101, 102, 103 or something. Then in the next DLC 104, 105, 106, then the next one 107, 108, 109, next one 110, 111, 112, and then finally sort of like it then moves on to the next tier. But they're all the DLCs that come out, all of the gear that keeps coming out is always a little bit better than the previous one, but never better than the one that they sell for marks. And they only ever have just the one set that you use, you buy with marks and marks only, and sell it for like 4 times the price of what the bits are normally now, so that you have to grind them out. And then, you know, if people are going to do it within a few weeks or whatever, with replay badges, then so what, they're going to do it anyway. But maybe have rare things that drop within these things as well, and just have, like, you know, maybe the mods that you can put into the pieces, have them improve with each DLC as well. Maybe some little extra things that you could insert into your old armor to improve it. But at least then you kind of aiming towards that one suit, and when you've got that one suit that you buy from the vendor, and you've got that full, you know that you've got the full tier 7 armor, and there's nothing going to be better until tier 8 comes out. and then with each DLC, if you say you get it all by the third DLC and you've got the full tier 7 set, then you might be thinking, well, what do you buy with your marks and things like that? But maybe they could do things within the vendor that you could buy that go into the suit to give it some extra stats or something like that, but you keep the suit, instead of keep bringing out another set each time that a DLC comes out, and then the old set's just redundant, and you either keep it in your bank for a little while or you delete it and it's done. It just feels like a waste. You're just constantly just grinding for another set, and it just seems pointless, really. So I just like to see something like that happen, and it was something that happened in the very early stages of the game with tier 1 and tier 2 and tier 3, and it was kind of like that a bit with tier 4, but once it got to tiers 5 and 6, it's kind of just gone out the window, and it just feels like every DLC is like a new tier. But things like that, that's probably the main reason why I don't really play that much anymore, and I can't see it ever changing. But I mean, that's my wish, that it would go to something like that, and probably play a bit more then. But till that happens, I'm kind of just gonna probably drop my subscription and just stick to doing legends and things like that, occasionally coming on, and that's about it, guys. So thanks for watching all of that, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.